Hey guys, I'm not going to show you my ugly face a whole lot on this video, but what I do want to do a quick video on was a tarp shelter that I really like. The reason I like it is it's fast, it's effective, it's easy to set up, doesn't require a lot of fancy knots and tying. Not that that's a bad thing, but this one's just, for me, incredibly simple to set up and incredibly quick and simple to take down. You can do it with this with any kind of tarp. A square one does work a little better. What you're looking at here is a nylon 10-foot square or 10 by 10 tarp. This is not a fancy one. I wish it had a few more tie-out points than it does. I may do a video later down the road on modifying it to suit my needs, but for this style shelter it works just fine. So what I've already done before this video was I took one corner and I staked it down. I think you can see that. Now, what we're going to do, I'll put this back on the tripod in a minute, is I'm going to take two poles I've got cut laying right here, and I'm going to make a really quick and dirty A-frame style pair of legs for the front, and then we'll anchor the rest out. So I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod. I'll talk to you, tell you what I'm doing as I go, and then I'll take the camera back down and give you a real close-up view momentarily once we get it set up. So bear with me just a second. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paracord. I've got in my pocket here. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can actually lash these poles together like you would if you're building a tripod or something like that. It's not really supporting a lot of weight, and there's going to be some tension against it to help stand it up, so I'm not going to worry about extreme lashing. What I'm going to do is just tie a simple slip knot and then my paracord. You see that? If you don't know how to tie a slip knot, I'm going to get up a little closer, maybe you'll see. If not, I'll do a separate video on some knots, but literally just make a loop around itself, like so. Bring the tag end around and back through itself. You can make that as big as you want it. You can make it as small as you want it. When you're done, it will literally just slip itself loose. So let's get that slip knot back in there. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is take these two poles, and again, these are ugly. I didn't try and make it pretty. This is form over function here. Don't even worry about them being the same length. I'm going to slip this down over and go about 4 to 6 inches down, the shortest one here. And if they're both the same length, that's fine. If you got them taller, that's no problem either. I just knew for a fact that this was going to be plenty tall enough for my application, for what I was about to do with them. Okay? So now those can actually scissors like that, and they'll still hold fine. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lay these down. One back here toward my tarp. Throw a piece of cordage out of the way. I've got a loop here that I've already made up. Just another piece of paracord. I've done it with red so you can see it easy. And a toggle. Toggle's no more than just a stick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the diagonal corner to where I've already anchored tent down the back. Now these have loops in them. So what I think I'm going to do is slide the toggle through and use it in that manner, I think. So to do that, I don't know if you can see here or not, but I'm going to slide the toggle through the loop in the tarp. I'm going to take one end of my loop and go over and back through. So now I can pull the two ends together, and I can pull against that really evenly. Whereas if I just tie a loop in there, it would bunch that up. And I'll show you up close when I get this standing. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my toggle here. You know, I think I'm going to do that differently. Sorry. Some of these I kind of think on the go here. what I think I am going to do is I think I am going to go ahead and attach the loop to the tarp just by pulling it through and back through again. Not a big deal either way. It's still going to hold good and solid, but you'll see why I've done that in a minute. Now the toggles here, it can fall out, but it won't. So what I'm going to do now, I've got that toggle and that loop. I'm going to pick up my legs and I'm going to hang that toggle on the back side of my legs like so. Just holding it all together. I'm going to stand it up. Legs are a little narrow for what I want, but we can adjust that later, it's no problem. So, holding a little pressure against that, the toggle's there, it's not going anywhere. A piece of paracord with a slip knot in it, and we'll hold a little tension on it. I should have had this. Do I have one in my pocket? No. Yes, I do. Take a tent stake, get my baton here. I'm going to come out, doesn't really matter, whatever I feel like works good. Right here looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and put that stake in the ground. I could let the whole thing lay back down at this point and then pick it back up, but it's pretty easy for me to just hold it here and really soft ground. I ain't got to do a lot of work. Now, don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but I will come through it with a close-up. I'm going to tie me, I need to tension this good and snug. So I'm going to take a bite up here and tie me a little loop. We're going to create a trucker's hitch to hold this standing up. And with that tied and snugged up, I'm going to come around my stake. I'm going to take the tag end here and go through my loop. Now I can pull that way tighter than I really want to. Doing something like this, you have to be careful with trucker's hitch or you'll rip stuff to shreds. Pull it way tighter than you mean to. That's pretty snug. I'm going to stop right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch that and hold it still, make a little loop, stick my finger in it, reach through that loop and pull the tag end through. Now I'll try and do a close-up video if you don't know how to tie a trucker's hitch. But as you can see, that's somewhat standing. Now I've got 2 more stakes. Well, setting up like this is going to require 4 stakes. They don't have to be store-bought. You can craft them. I like keeping these in my pack just because they're quick. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'm going to come over to another corner now. I'm just going to stretch it out to where I want it. I like these nylon tarps because they actually have some give and stretch to them, and you can get them pretty snug. Again, I'm not really worried about sinking these stakes hog because we're just doing a video showing the setup on this. Then I'll come to the other side, do the exact same thing. Slide that stake on in. And there you go. Now, if we want it a little tighter, a little more straight up, we can adjust these legs wherever we want them. Put a little more tension on them, we can straighten them up straighter. That's pretty good. So, now I'm going to take the camera off and give you a quick walk around. And maybe you'll be able to see a little bit closer of what I've done. We're going to start at the back and I'll walk you through it again verbally. So again, we took a 10x10 tarp. Very first thing I did was take one corner, anchor it down with a stake. Then in a diamond type fashion, I went to the opposite corner diagonally, took a loop, ran it through itself on the loop that's on my tarp here with a toggle on the other end. Like so. Then I took a longer piece of cordage, tied a simple slip knot. You could do fancier if you wanted to actually do timber hitch or some type of lashing on this, but it's not necessary for a shelter setup. Not for something as light as this. Tied it around the two uprights in the position I wanted it. Crossed them a bit and pulled the toggle through the top of the X. Pulling tension on that. Pulled it down to yet another stake. Took all my tension out with the trucker's hitch. That got it standing up. Then you just pick a side, stretch the wings, as a lot of people call it, out to the position you want them. Switch sides. Done the exact same again. Now, it doesn't look as pretty as some you'll see because the ground is a little uneven and it makes this pucker right here. That could be remedied if your tarp has center tie-outs. Some of the more expensive ones do. This one will, and I'll do a video on that modification later. What I'll probably do is just come right in the center with a loop here where I could pick this up and tie it off to a tree or overhead limb or something like that. As you can see, it would make the structure a lot more snug. But it works just as is. Go up on the inside, show you how much room you've really got. And there is a lot of room in here, guys. A lot of room. And the beauty of this style shelter is if it's cold out, you can lower your front, spread your wings on out a whole lot more, and keep a lower profile, keep more body heat in, things like that. If you need to circulate more air, you could raise it up even higher than it is now. I found that this height here, which comes up to about mid-chest on me, is perfect for this time of the year and kind of an all-purpose design. I like this because I can, if I needed to, build a small fire right here. As long as it's small, it won't affect the cordage. I can come to either side and build a small fire and close to me if I needed to, if I was trying to stay warm. It leaves a good opening to get in and go up inside. It's just an all-around good shelter. Now I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod real quick and take it down and show you how quick something like this actually comes down. Because that's what people fail to understand. If you're setting shelters like this just for the enjoyment of practicing bushcraft, then you don't really have to worry as much about that. It's nice. But if you're practicing these types of skills for a survival scenario or an SHTF scenario, then you need to be able to set them quick. And you need to be able to take them down just as quick, just in case you have to pack and go quickly. So to take this down, what I would do first is simply come down here to this trucker's hitch, untie it. Come here and take the toggle out. Let the tarp go. Pull my cordage off of the poles. Cordage is free and loose. Toggle's free. I'll grab my stake from right here. I'll put all that in my pocket. Then all I've got to do is go around, pull my stakes. Fold the tarp up, stuff it back in the bag, throw it in my pack, whatever I've got to do. Over and done. Hope y'all liked the video. Hope some of these little tips and ideas helped you a little bit on setting up a diamond or plow point shelter, especially freestanding. You can do the same thing attached to a tree. I just want to show this because you don't always get to pick exactly where you want to shelter. Thanks for watching. Be looking on the lookout for some more new videos. As always, have a good one.